Hi there, I'm Tiffani Helberg. I'm excited that you joined us for this edition of ChamberSouth Spotlight. And today we have Humberto Comellas with ulltium Consulting. Thank you for joining us, Humberto.
Thank you for having me, Tiffani. Good morning.
So good morning. I'm very excited because you're like the CIA of computers, as far as in my head. You do cybersecurity. You're doing a whole bunch of cool stuff. Tell us about that.
So I've never been referred to that, but I appreciate it. Yes, my firm does IT managed services. So we basically act as our client's IT department. And in some cases where clients do have an IT department, where either they need augmented resources or skill sets, they will come to us for help. But in addition to it, we also do cybersecurity, whether it's awareness, training, remediation. In the case where somebody has been compromised, we can come in and help to remediate the process. And regrettably, we've seen that growing quite significantly.
What should business owners know about how to protect themselves today?
Well, if I could give one word of advice to every business owner is like a good accountant, a good banker, and a good lawyer, hire yourself a good IT professional that's going to always look out for your best interests and make IT part of your business strategy. Don't look at it as it's never going to happen. The reality is if the bad actors want to get access to your information, they're going to get it. There's no way around it. And I tell that to my clients, and I tell that to anyone that we work with. If they want it bad enough, they're going to get to it. My job is to make it as difficult as possible for them to get to it so they move on to the next guy. Or in the case that they do, which knock on wood, 42 years in the industry, not one network under my watch has ever been breached. That's a rarity in my industry. But if they were, is to have data backups and so forth that we can recover from.
And the consequences of something like that are huge.
Huge.
Talk about that.
From a reputation standpoint, from a liability standpoint. So some of the verticals that I work with are healthcare. I don't do hospitals, but I do medical offices. Imagine a healthcare professional that has very sensitive information, that data being breached. How do you recover from it? Financial institutions, if they get compromised, how do they recover? So the reputation aspect of it is very difficult. The losses in productivity, if you were to pay out a ransom, you're very likely going to get targeted again. We saw that not too long ago. I'm not going to mention the name of the company. They were hit, and within 45, 60 days later, hit again.
Yeesh.
So having proper protocol and regrettably, business owners don't really value that. They protect they don't see their data as a asset. They see it more as a commodity until it's not there or they can't get access to it. Then it becomes priceless. So there are measures that you can do to ensure that data is there, or if something happens, that you can recover.
I think being in business today is so difficult. There are so many challenges, so many financial responsibilities. So they're thinking, all right, this one thing, like in cyberspace, I'm just not going to worry about it. But you're saying this needs to be at the top of your priority list.
Absolutely. And just because you have all your information out on the cloud, and I've been doing it again a long time, so I've seen the whole IT evolution from the advent of the IBM PC with the dual floppy drives to the mainframes. I've seen it all, and where we're heading even more so. But just because your data's on the cloud does not mean that it's not going to get targeted. And so you need to have security measures and safeguard that data, because everyone can be exposed. So yeah, absolutely. You need to make it part of your business strategy and make sure that you have a good partner that kind of lines up with where you want to go and how you can leverage IT to help you get there.
Do you work with big businesses, small businesses, the whole range?
So I'm more in the SMB space, though I have some larger clients. Not going to mention names, but I do have some larger clients that I work with, some of which, like I said earlier, where we just provide an augment resource or a skill set that they need to work, for some project that they want to roll out. I also work as a virtual CIO. So in my 42-year career, probably 38 of them were at a C-level for two large international banks, for a very prominent developer here in South Florida. This is my second go-around as an MSP. I was tied as managing partner to a very prominent CPA firm here as well. So I've been in that C-level. So providing that skill set, that knowledge, how to bring technology into the boardroom is critical. And a lot of companies don't have that. They may have an IT department, or they may have an IT person that basically does break fix, but they know what they know, which is what's in front of them. They don't know what's out there. They don't know what's available to them. And that's where someone like myself can come in and help them better understand, be more competitive, more efficient, and above all, safeguard that information.
You work in a world that is changing so very rapidly. How do you keep up with that?
Doing a lot of research, a lot of reading, going to a lot of trade shows. We're fortunate, not to give them a plug, but we partner with Kaseya here in South Florida. They're one of the largest IT partners in the MSP, the managed services space. So a lot of their products are geared for our platform, for our particular use. And so with access to that information, it allows us to bring those resources to our clients that normally wouldn't have access to them.
Mm-hmm. And now we've thrown in the rapid advancement of AI. How has that influenced your business?
AI, if you're not using it or adapting it in one way or another, you're going to miss the boat. I think it's not that it's growing. AI is here, and it's not going anywhere. It's evolving very rapidly. It's gone way beyond ChatGPT and, just using it to write content and so forth. It is now going to start to be used for data mining so that businesses can leverage their information more effectively. So if you're not using it, you're going to be left behind very, very rapidly. But it also creates a risk, because that same eye that doesn't sleep, it's on all the time, can be used by bad actors to try to get access to your company information. It can be used to disseminate false information, whether through videos, false narratives, or what have you, to discredit a person, a company. And so understanding what that looks like and making sure that you're taking measures to protect that and are aware of it is going to be very critical.
Do you help companies integrate AI into their operations?
We do, to a certain extent. We also educate them on how to protect and secure information. So we absolutely do.
Tell me the difference between ChatGPT and AI.
So ChatGPT is basically AI. So there's a lot of different computer language learning. There's a lot of different levels of AI. ChatGPT is basically like Siri or Alexa. Hey, tell me about this, and it'll give you a script that you can use. Basically, you can create a context that the ChatGPT will provide for you. AI is basically the overlying, which is using artificial intelligence, and the more information that we feed it, and that information is growing exponentially because we're publishing more. So it's basically taking all that content that's out there globally and think of it as like one large data bank that these machines are pulling information from. And the more that it learns, the more it can give you solutions to problems. But it can also be used to, again, create havoc.
Yes. And to what extent do you think that it's going to get rid of the need for humans and manpower, like in my current role at Community Health of South Florida, and I do marketing and I use it, but I still have to fix it after I use it.
I think it's going to evolve drastically, again, because information fed, it creates better outcome. If you look at some of the false videos of a year or two ago,
Yeah.
you could kind of tell. Now it's becoming harder and harder because computers are becoming more powerful. I'm more concerned, truthfully, when we start looking 3-5 years out, and I would argue that that timeline is probably going to be faster than that when we introduce quantum computing, which is basically liquid-cooled computers that can disseminate and decipher information in nanoseconds. So whereas, for example, you have a password that AI or robots are trying to hack, that takes time to get that algorithm. These devices can do it in seconds. So from a security, safeguarding when that technology comes around is one that I hope to be long retired from, because I don't want to be dealing with that situation. But it will create one of the things that I go back to when I was younger, and my grandfather didn't really understand what I did. I always said, I'm a computer doctor. What does that mean? It's like, well, I don't think I'll ever be out of work because there's always going to be a need for someone. And that was true then, as it will be true today, and it will be true tomorrow. During COVID, we were busier than ever before because, again, that need for technology, that need for data is never going to go away. Is it going to replace human beings at some point? I don't know. Is it going to make it more efficient? For sure. And that's evident today. You know, and you walk into a Home Depot and there's no longer cashiers. Now you can self-checkout. So it's a process. It's a process.
Yeah, that's true. Humberto, tell me about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What you like?
Okay, so I was born in Cuba. I left there at 3 years of age via Barcelona, went to Spain. Was there for about 3 years. Excuse me. Came to the States in 1969 to New York with my older brother and my mom. My father stayed back in Cuba. And after a year or so, moved to Philadelphia. And from Philly, we came to Miami. So I've been in Miami since 1972. Pretty much school here, college here, business here. My entire IT career is here in South Florida. Married to my beautiful wife, Maria. She likes to go by Mari, fellow Cuban. We would have probably never have met had we both stayed in the island. Have 2 kids, Jessica, 34, and my son Christopher, 31. And love South Florida, love what I do, love helping kids. I do a lot of work with at-risk kids. That's an area that I'm very passionate about.
You're also on the board of the chamber.
I am on the board of the chamber. Been associated with a number of chambers, and I support ChamberSouth tremendously. Rick Alberti, not only a dear friend, but is doing a phenomenal job there at the chamber, and I really am on board with helping the chamber grow.
Tell us about some of the things that are going on at the chamber right now. What's exciting?
So to be very candid, and I hate to say this, before Rick approached me, I didn't know ChamberSouth even existed. But when Rick asked me, come check it out, come to one of the lunches, I was really intrigued. And interestingly enough, it was the IT forum, and he asked me to be one of the panelists, and we were talking about AI. And I was kind of the squeaky wheel in the group because I was like, we have to be careful. Let's not make this a runaway train. But he's done a really good job with events. Our board has grown. We are very engaged. We're providing more value to our members. We have programs that help. So, for example, I am the chair of the Small Business Committee. So we've started to create workshops to help small businesses. how to grow, how to hire, marketing, get access to resources and so forth. And that is kind of taking a life on its own. So it's a very interesting time. I feel like I'm going back to when I got involved in the IT, it was kind of at the ground floor. I'm at the same level here with the chamber. We're at the ground floor really looking up, and we can make of it what we want.
Yeah, I see things moving very fast there. It's very exciting.
It really is. It really is.
So what haven't we talked about that you want the community to know about your business?
So, like I said, technology is a difference maker. You can leverage it to grow your business. You can leverage it to become more efficient. You can leverage it for marketing in so many different aspects. It's very important that you make that a key part of your business strategy. Security is paramount. Training of your employees. All it takes is one click of somebody clicking on an email that they weren't supposed to, and there goes the ball game. So it's very important to educate your staff. Continuous training is paramount, and that's something that we help with considerably. Our verticals, like I said, are healthcare, general contractors, and legal. 3 very specific industries, only because I have that background. I was CIO for, like I said, a very prominent developer, so I know the general contracting space. I actually sat in as a interim CIO for 18 months at a very large law firm here in South Florida, so it got me to understand how a law firm works. And I love working with lawyers because they understand and they value technology. Mm-hmm. And then healthcare was a space that I saw back in 2007 as an emerging space when President Obama was coming into the White House, and there was a big push for medical records and electronic medical records. It was sort of an untapped market. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to get into that space. And 2008, the bubble came, everything collapsed. I started my ulltium January 1st, 2008. And from day one, we took off because I was focused on the healthcare space. And like the computer doctor, human doctors are always going to have jobs because people get sick.
Yes.
So it allowed me to do what we do, and we've been very successful at it.
That's cool. Roberto Comellas?
Humberto.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I'll get it.
No worries.
But I'm so fascinated by you and what you do. I'm grateful for you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And for all that you do in cybersecurity to keep our community safe, and your involvement in the chamber.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
And thank you for watching, and we hope that you'll join us for one of our many chamber events. We have a gala coming up. As Humberto mentioned, there are many different events such as luncheons with different forums. You can learn about different fields. So check out the website and join us.